we're going with Japan. We're going Sengoku era Japan. Orcs and samurai were very high on everybody's list, and orcs are cool. And I think I will end up doing that eventually, but it's just not what I'm looking to do right now.
Son Goku's my favorite Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait until we get to the Piccolo arc.
But we're using the Game of Thrones system. Let me go ahead and give you a link to the Mega where you can get the rules. But we'll talk it over. We'll go through character creation step by step. But one of the fun things about the system is first we need to come up with in Game of Thrones it's a house, but here it'd be a clan.
I mean, it's the same thing in the end.
Oh, sure. I just mean the word thereof. But we need to come up with a clan.
Well, I'm already a clan member.
Nope.
That's my one and I'm done. I swear.
I've done my duty, now I'm no longer part of the team. So goodbye.
Okay, there's a mega link in the Discord. You just need that should take you, just to the core book there. And everything you need is in there. It can be a little hard to navigate sometimes, but
Excuse me.
it's got good bookmarking. Anywho, so first we need to come up with a clan. What do you guys want to name your clan?
The Beep clan.
Are we all part of the same clan, or do we all have our own clan?
Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about the organization of the campaign. Is that you are all retainers or vassals of a lord. So there's going to be a feudal lord, a daimyo, and you sort of freeform creation, picking skills. You don't have to pick like hard classes. So you can be members of the house. You could be one of you could play the heir. Basically, you can play anything except the lord and the lady of the house. They're going to be NPCs, and you guys will be like the advisor, or maybe a monk, a spiritual advisor, a temple priest. You could be just a courtier who is there to give advice and to kind of take part in everything, sort of like a very minor noble. Or you could, of course, be samurai. There are combat rules. There are going to be combat scenarios and intrigue scenarios, and sometimes, you won't be able to interact, but at the same time, everyone should have a broad enough range of skills that they can at least help out in every scene.
Yeah.
You may want to grab a push to mute button there for those coughs.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's just quite louder than I'm sure it's you would think. But we need to decide. Let's start with something else then. The name will come after. Let's talk about the history of the house. Is it an ancient house? Is it fairly new? Like, did this family that you serve just recently, maybe a generation or two, get rewarded with the position, or is this going back to ancient times, to early emperors?
What if we're just like a clan of magical Kasunes pretending to be humans just to screw around with human politics?
But your options are ancient, very old, established, recent, and new. And new would be a generation. Like this would be first generation daimyo.
I vote for new.
I vote for new so long as we can call it young. That'll also be our clan name. And everybody picks like a rap name where you just slapped the word young in the beginning. Here's my mixtape.
Ancient Japanese mixtape.
Here's my mixed scroll. It says 2 votes for Young and Dylan and Troy. What are your votes?
I'm kind of voting for older.
Okay.
So, what exactly are the benefits of playing as a newer or younger clan?
Sure. So basically, when you go through creation, you start with, and I've done some of this for you guys ahead of time for the numbers, but if you go to your character section, which is the folded newspaper in the upper right, you'll see that there is just labeled the house. And you can see it has history. It has history and resources. So basically, I rolled a d6 and got 5, and then rolled for each of the things that can happen to you. There's literally a historical events table, and with each age, you get either more or fewer, greater or fewer number of historical events. So an ancient house would get 1d6 plus 3. A new house would get 1d6 minus 2. So I would actually have to subtract some stuff from this. As you can see, the house was born out of decline, which means that it was born from a maybe a cadet branch of the imperial family, or a much greater holding that got split up during a war, or got split up when there was 2 siblings, let's say, to a lord who split up his territory upon his death. It was around this time that...
Again, I already voted young, so or new.
Oh, yes. New? Okay. 1 for new, 1 for old. Grasslam, you said...
I would say new because we're getting benefits from it, but if everyone's leaning towards... Yeah, I'll go with new. I was about to say old, but never mind.
Okay. And Aso, it looks like you're the tiebreaker. Or tie maker. Let's see.
What are the options again?
You'll get ancient, very old, established, recent, and new. And you get more or fewer historical events. Historical events can give you bonuses to your resources, or they can take away some of your resources, depending on how well you roll.
I think established would be the most exciting.
Actually, let me move over to a little page so I can share some stuff. And I'll take a little screenshot here. So, old, established, 2 new. It looks like new is probably going to get it, but we're going to lose some stuff. We're going to lose... Glory and Conquest. So let's re-roll for those. 46. Sorry, I'm like throwing you right into the rolling, but this is part of the creation system. Is that you have these attributes of defense, influence, lands, laws, population, power, and wealth, and this represents your house's abilities, and with time you can build those up. You can start projects to improve your castle, or to try to improve land. Move some more land for farming, or maybe bring in some specialized buildings such as a vineyard or a samurai training school. But we got to find out what the strengths and weaknesses are going to be. So defense is going to go down. Whoops. Who dropped? Oh, ASO dropped? Okay. I'm sure he'll be right back.
So we don't actually pick what realm we're in?
You'll get to pick location, you'll get to pick starting bonuses, but a lot of this stuff is decided based on rolls.
Okay.
based on sort of random generation.
I would just have it like a fatal situation where characters are literally unplayable at birth.
No, no, no. The characters are not rolled. They're manual. It's just the land you start with. So new, and the next big choice is your starting resources, which you can see on the Roll20. These are, of course, Game of Thrones names. You can just ignore those, but you need something to call out which column. You decide which row you want to have. Like, do you want big bonuses to defense? Do you want bonuses to influence, bonuses to land, law, population, power, wealth?
Is this character by character or something we
No, no,
vote
no.
on
This
for our
is
house?
this is for the house, for the clan. This decides for the clan.
I vote we either use the Dragonstone or the Iron Islands row.
Heavy on defense for both. Not great with influence and lands on both of those. So, if you don't want to go through and like read and think about the numbers, which I realize can be a bit of a headache sometimes, like which of these resources do you want to specialize in? Like, do you see yourselves wanting to be in a clan that has, is known for its big castles and standing army? Do you want to know that one that's well respected everywhere, one that has a lot of land and people living on it, one that is stable, not a lot of bandits, the rule of law is very powerful, one that has a lot of people, maybe there's a big bustling market city, one that has power, which means one that has influence with the emperor and the shogunate, or one that has wealth, which can buy
I'm
you
leaning
quite a bit.
towards the Westerlands or the Reach.
Okay, okay. So you want to go more influence?
More influence, more wealth.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I mean, you can't lead an army if you can't feed them.
sure, sure. And Troy, which one of these do you think you want to specialize in? Troy?
I was thinking.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes, mics get muted and things, so I always double check.
I'd say law.
Okay, okay. There are two that specialize in law. One is a plus 20. That's, more like the capital in Game of Thrones. So that's definitely it would be a place where there's a lot of guards, a lot of people patrolling the roads. Yeah, yeah. And Asa? So we're kind of split,
I think
but we can.
I was gonna say I think influence and population are probably the two features that I'd look towards the most. So
That's
probably
funny. We all
the
have
Reach.
completely different opinions.
Yeah, I think it's two people who want influence. That's so far the closest to a consensus. So in terms of influence, we have 4 different options that give a plus 10. See, also looking for defense and
That's my vote.
wealth. Yeah, I would say probably either Mountains of the Moon or maybe the Westerlands, because it has
The wealth.
The influence and wealth. So defense and influence, or influence and wealth. What would be? So we definitely want an influence house, and then what do you want the second most important thing to be?
I would say wealth because money pretty much rules everything.
Cream. Cream.
Get the money. Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, it'll probably save us a lot of trouble, like in starting wars, because gently just push a couple of coins towards them, maybe some nice treasure.
So you guys are going for you will occasionally notice that I'm going to throw out some Game of Thrones references, and that's just unavoidable with this system. But
I've never played. I've never seen Game of Thrones. So.
Me too. High five.
it's all right. But just
But
going for a bit of a
I would
Lannister
vote
approach.
defense for the simple fact that we are starting a new system. There are going to be, how do you put it? Some of us are going to do something or say something stupid. And whereas wealth is fantastic and all, defense is not. I figure it's easier to start with a bonus to defense than it is to build that up. Whereas wealth, we can build up easier, in my opinion.
So
And,
what exactly is considered to be defense? Is it like walls, soldiers?
Yeah, it's castles, it's walls, it's like the more defense you have, the bigger your castle, basically. Like that is, I think, the only thing that defense buys. Yeah, is castles, towers.
Fortifications.
Yeah. So that's helpful in case you get into a battle. Like if you get into a war battle, it's going to be based around taking your castle. And this is the Sengoku period. It's early on. It's after the Onin War. It's the early 1500s, late 1490s, somewhere around there. And so that means there is trouble a-stirring. There has been wars over the succession to the shogun. And so it is not unheard of for there to be some big open battles. At the same time, wealth, again, cream, cash rules everything around me. Troy, what are your thoughts on the secondary secondary importance?
Defense or both, I guess. Well,
Okay, which one would if you had to pick one, which you do?
Defense and wealth kind of like chicken and the egg kind of situation, because you can get defense. When you have better defense, you have better wealth. But if you have wealth, you can buy better defense.
I'm sorry, what was that, Troy?
It would take a long time, though.
Mountains of the Moon.
It looks like we have a plurality, a majority for defense. Is that right? We got 2 for defense. Hey, so what was yours again?
I was saying influence and population, but I switched it to influence and wealth.
2 wealth, 2 defense.
You can always flip a coin.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do here. Grasslam, odds or evens?
Gonna go with even. Nope.
All right, looks like going wealth. So the Westerlands. It's not great defense, but you do get massive amount of wealth. And like within the game, like within the narrative, I would say this is probably like a silver mine in your territory. Just a source of wealth. And
So lower defense and something people want.
you guys have a pretty good starting defense, so this won't be too bad. We're with the Westlands, right? Okay. Let me quickly draw a thing because I can't. My eyes today. Nice. You guys had a poor due to rolls. These are all like your starting stuff is all rolled, so you had a fairly poor influence at the beginning, but with this +10, that'll really help. Unfortunately, your lands are going to go way down. Law's not too bad. Population, you're fine. Oh, good. Power's not affected. You're all right there. And massive wealth.
We literally have the DuckTales money vault.
Okay,
Stacked.
DuckTales Money Vault. Yes. I'm okay with this.
So, like, there are nice little descriptions of each here. I'm going to read these out just so you have an idea of what's going on here. So, 24, 21 to 30, you have a defense. You're defensible with at least one fortified town or castle. Roads and trails are present, and rivers or ports are likely. So, not multiple castles, not a big thing, but you definitely have a fortified town or a castle. Influence is 23. 23. So this determines the max status. So like the Lord is now status 4. A small minor clan. Yeah, okay. But that's all right. There's room to grow, especially in these turbulent times.
So I don't remember. Did we vote? Did we end up voting that we were going to be an older clan or a younger clan?
Younger. It went younger. So.
Friar, I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
Is this like a warring states period or?
Yeah, it's early warring states.
All right, thank you.
So like the full Oda Nobunaga has not started taking over everything yet. It's very early on.
He hasn't discovered guns yet.
Yeah, I think we're like around that year, like a plus or minus a couple of years from that date that the Portuguese had given him guns.
It was the Dutch.
Oh really? Huh. Oh, that's right.
The
Portuguese
Dutch were the only ones that were allowed in the country.
Yeah, the Portuguese were the ones who brought Christianity. Right. Brought missionaries. They brought a bottle of Christianity. No, your lands.
Jesus.
Your lands are unfortunately your worst trait. So lands 13, a small stretch of land the size of a single small island or small portion of a larger island, or a large city and its immediate environs. So that's going to be interesting. You guys could be an island. There are definitely some island territories.
I think it would be awesome to be a city.
I'd
like a
honestly
city-state.
vote for us to be on a island if we're that small.
I would say so too.
Same.
Okay.
Because
It's
that just means the water is a natural defense and we can dig in.
Agreed.
nice.
I mean, it also gives you nowhere to retreat to. If you lose your land, you're just dead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but we're small. Like, if we were a bigger thing, I wouldn't say on island, but
So your law is lawlessness and banditry are a problem along the fringes, which makes sense. If we're going for an island, then you're going to have some pirates. You're going to have maybe some raiders from Korea, depending on where you are, where you're located. Population, typical population. Most small folk live on farmsteads or in hamlets. Might have a couple of small towns and a community around your primary fortification. Power's pretty good. Common has enough to get by. Or no, that's wealth. Sorry. Power is a modest force of soldiers, including some trained troops. So not bad. Everything's pretty, medium until we get to wealth. You are affluent. Your family has more funds than it needs and lives in comfort.
so we could just buy better soldiers then.
Correct.
From my ancient Japanese DuckTale money vault.
So let's take a look at possible locations. I had laid out some before, but it looks like we're talking about an island. Fortunately, this doesn't show all the islands. Let me pull up another map that does. Whoops. Come on. There it is. Put that on the map layer. So, if we're talking about islands, and you guys definitely want an island, there's Tsushima, Oki, Sato, and also some of these smaller islands here near the Ryukyu. Let's see, what is that called? That Matsurugi? What is that called? Let me move this slightly so I can see the Hizen area, I guess. So we got one vote for Tsushima. Is it just because that game is coming out? Oh yes, there is that small island down there. Oh, wow.
Little tiny clusters.
There are those as well.
I vote Tsushima personally.
Same. Just because it looks like the bigger chunk of land.
It is a bigger chunk of land, except for maybe this one in square footage. I don't know. But the problem with the one down in here is you kind of lose the natural defense of the water just because you are surrounded on almost every side.
I will say that you are much closer to the capital down there. And that can be, a good thing or a bad thing. You're much close to the goings-on
Well, the
of
thing
the
is,
central
back during
politics.
the Warring State period, they kept fucking moving the capital. So if we win the war, we could just move the capital to our land.
True.
We don't know what the capital is anymore. We kind of misplaced it.
Right now,
So
it's
yeah, I'm voting for Tsushima.
yeah. Right now, it's I think right in there. I think that's where Kyoto is.
So how many votes do we have for Tsushima? That's at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the majority. All right, so you guys are going to be.
If this is based off the Sengoku map, it's currently in whatever Zetsu is.
The current. Well, this map is a few years after.
Oh, then I don't know.
A few years. I'm sorry. A few years. This map comes from after the period where we're starting, and also I am more than happy to rewrite some history. So.
I mean, none of us are historians, so it'll be fine.
We've all played Samurai Warriors, therefore makes us experts on Japanese history. So Tsushima, all right. Is that just because of the upcoming video game?
What upcoming
I
video game?
really don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, there's a game announced called like Ghosts of Tsushima or something like
the
that.
new Sucker Punch game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
It just got announced like a couple days ago. It looks like, I don't know. They have a interesting trailer, interesting teaser. That's about it. All right, so the Island of Tsushima. So one of the things I plan to do was pick out some. So let's think of some names. Do you guys want to like grab a random Japanese name generator, or you guys have something in mind? Ghost of Tsushima. There we go. Do you guys have anything in mind in terms of what you want to name the clan? I mean, feel free to get silly with it.
Well, I got a name generator up and running.
I have a hard time finding a map of the island itself. Or at least a map that doesn't look super modern. I'm not sure. I think it says "so" there, which would the italics would indicate that's the clan on this map. But again, we can make some stuff up. Anybody?
Mizu.
So I just kind of closed my eyes and clicked on a random name, and this is the one that popped up.
Because I'm not really the best at making things. We can just name our clan Water.
Sure. I was been messing with the Rosetta Stone for
Or
Japanese.
if we wanted to
and-
be like cool about it, we could call it like Storm or something like that.
Does it have a meaning attached to it, Grass Lamb? Or is
Nah.
it just random? Okay.
Yeah, it was randomized.
I mean, is everybody okay with this? The Yonomine clan?
Sure.
The only other thing I could think of would be something like Yamashita, which has to do with a old Japanese treasure, if I remember correctly. Just based on our wealth. Or if you guys are wanting like an aggressive name, you could do something like Kizunodo, which is like cut the earth or tear the earth or something like that.
That sounds pretty cool.
I have no strong feelings either way.
Okay. I'm not sure which of these maps to use here, but we can. I'll use this one.
That's how that one would be spelled.
Okay, so Grasslime, you like that one better than?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that then. I'll change the name of the house handout. Kizunodo.
House Nodos. It's like 5-hour energy, but in a pill form.
Ancient Japanese 5-hour pills.
That's right.
Ancient Japanese trucker speed.
If energy lasts longer than 6 hours, see doctor.
Oh, let's avoid that. And one more thing is your mon, your emblem. There's a wonderful site here that is a database of them that I can't read, but if you just randomly click, you'll get some cool ideas. I want everybody to randomly click one, offer a suggestion, and we'll decide amongst that pool. Does that sound good?
Yep, just waiting for the site to load in.
And I'll pick one as well. And you can just copy the image address, paste it in, and Discord will take care of that. Don't have to worry about downloading it and uploading it. Oh, that looks nice. That one. Neat.
So where are you guys finding these again?
There should be, if you scroll up, there's a link to.
Oh, yep, I see it now.
Yeah, just randomly pick one and throw it up there, and we'll decide.
Actually, I want to change the one that I originally picked. There we go.
Ooh, that is nice. That is a very nice one.
What's with all the flowers?
It was a common theme.
It would seem so.
They really like their flowers and symbology. I mean, sort of like how European heraldry loved animals. Put all kinds of weird animals on their heraldry. Got your fish and your lions, boars.
Japanese culture was more obsessed with looking pretty and wistful instead of animals being strong.
Meanwhile, in Europe, it just looks like so much shitty MS Paint job.
Fucking Europe, medieval Europe was just like, is it big? Does it have a lot of teeth? It's our emblem.
Does anyone know what a lion looks like?
No.
Of course not.
That's
The best kind of big cat they had in Europe back then was probably like fucking mountain cats.
What do you say? Wait, when you want a rhino? Hang on, let me just put the horn right on the forehead. Kind of looks like a horse. There we go.
mm-hmm. Asa, do you want to pick one?
Why have I seen that one that Dylan linked before?
It's from,
OBS
You've probably seen it in Shogun too.
and OBS.
Yeah,
That's a symbol
yeah,
for OBS.
that's right.
What's OBS?
Open
It's a streaming
broadcaster.
software.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know why they use that particular. I mean, it's a Buddhist symbol. You can find the 3 thingamajigs in throughout East Asian art and stuff. I don't know why they chose that as a symbol for the open broadcaster. It's the 3 jewels of Buddhism. 3 treasures, excuse me, not jewels. The Dharma, the Sangha.
Dharma. Like Dharma
I-
Greg?
I like the fact that in this book, one of the abilities is fucking jumping.
Yeah. So I'm partial to grass lambs. What's everybody else's vote here?
I like mine.
I'm okay with whatever.
Just because it's very wavy like the ocean.
I'm okay with whatever is not a valid response. The parser doesn't take that response.
Can I waive my vote? Is that an option?
I mean, just pick one. Just pick one. Random.
I like grass lambs.
Okay. Dylan and Troy, do you want to challenge grass lambs?
No.
Okay.
I'm okay with the circle of wheat.
And it moves us all. And I will add that. Whoops, that's the wrong file. Crap. I hate when the images load in, but then shift suddenly. So I tried to load the map instead.
Question.
Uh-huh.
You said we could be anything but the lady or the lord, right?
Yeah, so you could be an heir.
All right, just
Or
making sure.
heiress. Yeah. So now we can start talking about characters. There's a little more to do with the realm, but we'll mess with that later. We got the basics down. Let's talk about characters. So,
I'd like to ask them before we get into characters.
Mhm.
What is the maximum you're setting for hairs?
oh, for heir?
The thing has a
mhm.
thing for it, and I'm asking you.
There's one heir proper, but you could be another child of the family and be treated like, you're in the succession. You're
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many children does the Lord have?
we can decide that as we go.
All right.
Like, yeah, I'm willing to say if 2 people want to be an heir or 3, I'd say yeah, sure. And we could go with that. It could be all his children
about,
in
like-
the Adventure Time.
What about like being a general or something?
Absolutely, you could be one of the samurai who is in control of his armies.
That's what I think I'm leaning towards.
So the first thing we need to decide, where is it?
Age?
Is age. There it is. So age determines your number of experience points you can use to buy skills and your maximum status. Now, here's the thing, though, is that the younger you are, the more destiny points you get. The older you are, the more experience points you get. Destiny points are used to you can spend them or burn them, and you spend them to get a bonus, and you burn them to get even greater bonus. Like we can talk about the specifics if you want, but
What's the difference between spending and burning?
Spending, it comes back. It'll like regenerate basically. Burning means it's gone forever.
Gotcha.
So I think this is something similar to Shadowrun, right?
I don't know. I don't know if
Because I
it's
feel
straight
like-
out of that. But
I feel like there was something similar to that in Shadowrun, but I can't remember the exact
Edge
name of
operates
it.
in the same. Yeah, it's called Edge,
Yeah, okay.
and it's a similar mechanic.
yeah, so think about what age your character wants to be, or is going to be, and then write down the number of ability experience.
Oh, so we don't have to roll. We can pick.
That's right. You can pick.
What page is that on?
That is
45.
Yeah, and 49 as well. Wait, 45. Oh yes, I see. There it is. There's just a chart and table on 49.
Ew.
So it goes youth, adolescent, young adult, adult, middle age, old, very old, and venerable.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So, what's like just realistically, what would be the youngest age that you would find acceptable to be a general?
Oh, to be a general?
Yeah.
I'd say at least adult.
Not young adult.
No, I mean
Okay.
we could
Let me go back up and see
we
what.
could
how
swing
old
that.
adult
We could
is.
do a like you're the inheritor of the
I can
general's
do adult.
position.
I can do an adult. That's fine.
Okay.
If we wanted to do it with young adult for a general, it'd probably have to be like they'd be really scrutinized in the story because like that comes with the whole like era of being superior to all the other soldiers, and that comes with age and everything. So like it would just like not a bad way, but create more drama in the story. So
I mean, it could certainly work. You could be the inheritor of the family that has always been the general. For Kizenodo.
Let me think on it.
well, I was supporting them, is what I'm saying. Like it's possible, but like
mhm.
it would like probably add good type of drama to the
Oh
story.
yeah, no, drum's good.
Right. I just haven't decided which one I want, but I'll probably be either young adult or adult.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards adult because that seems like a good middle ground. Do we have to worry about aging in this game?
Yes. So when you're not in like an individual scenario, when you're just managing the house, every turn is a month. So things could, if you're venerable or very old, you could be in trouble. But don't worry too much about that if you're adult or middle age.
So I see where it says like ability experience and maximum starting rank, except for status and stuff. But like you said that there was destiny points. Where is that
Yeah.
listed?
That's page 51. So if you want, you can just tell me your age and I'll tell you your destiny points, or you can look it up on page 51 in table
Well,
310.
I'm doing that to kind of try to decide between young adult and adult.
Oh, sure. Table 310 on page 51 has all that. And also, it determines, like, if you're middle age and above, you start to have mandatory flaws. And that's showing signs that you're getting, you're slowing down, you're getting older.
I
What
think
is
I'm just
actually
going to go
doing-
with an adult.
What
I'm
does
gonna be
that
like
mean we all
18.
need again? Age and what?
I'm sorry, Troy, say that again.
51.
Age and what? Like, what do we need to put down? Age and
Age and write down your number of ability experience. Like if there's no place for that on the character sheet, just make a note of it because you're going to use that to buy skills.
Oh, where's the character sheet?
You should be able to see character sheets in the journals section. Looks like the folded newspaper. Everyone should have one named after them.
So you said write down our experience points and what?
Just your age and experience points right now, And then I'll tell you your destiny points depending on your age.
Okay.
But let me know if you can't access anything. Let me create a character here just so that I can follow along in all the fields without messing with anybody's character sheet. Yeah, there's a box for experience in the lower left. And again, tell me your age, and I can tell you what your destiny points are, or you can look that up on page 51. And the destiny
Alright,
points.
got mine down.
Okay, the destiny points are on the combat section, actually. You notice there are tabs for character and combat. Oh, okie dokie. And let me know if any of you are taking old or venerable. Nobody? Okay. So now we start to buy up skill ranks. The ratings go.
Is it alright if I do switch back to young adult? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, that's fine. So all your abilities. Where are they all? Oh, they're there on combat. Everything starts at 2. You cannot reduce it below 2, not in character creation. And you spend points to increase it up to a max of 8. And don't worry about the specializations or anything right now. You can find descriptions of what you can do with these skills if you have any questions about, cunning or athletics or whatever.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's all right. And sorry, I'm trying to. I can't remember the exact number. I'll have to try to find that here. What it is per level. Well,
So when it says maximum starting rank, that's what that's referring to these abilities, right?
no, it's actually referring to your rank in society.
Oh.
I'm sorry for I was
Yeah, that's
dealing
alright.
with something. Can you talk about the skills and shit again, please?
Sure. So I'm trying to double check the. Oh, there it is. So you have these list of abilities. They all start at level 2, cannot go below during character creation, and it costs a certain amount of experience points to increase from rank to rank. I'm going to screenshot this and put it in the Roll20 so you can see how much the costs are.
Okie dokie.
I'll take us back to this page. And yeah, and this is the meat and potatoes of your character. So think about what they want to drill down into, whether it wants to be a generalist or whether you want to pick an ability and really focus in on it.
Can we improve these as we play?
In play,
Like, is there advancement for skills after character
yeah.
creation?
So the
So-
experience you gain in the playing the game can then be used to spend on increasing your rank and abilities.
If I want to add 1 to agility, I have to pay 10 experience, right?
Uh huh.
All right.
So what kind of character do y'all think about building?
So we've got the young adult general. Troy, you were talking about being an heir.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see yourself as like an advisor heir or like a generalist, kind of like combat guy?
Subterfuge and words.
Sure. So what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking some sort of apprentice to a. I don't see medicine on here anywhere. I was going to say some
There's
sort of
healing.
some sort of apprentice to a scientist or a medical profession.
I was thinking about someone who can kind of like is basically a chameleon.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Someone
definitely
who drinks and knows things.
You know, can just sneak around, maybe collect some information.
I mean, this is definitely the era of the samurai or of the ninja. The Iga and
Alright, I
Koga
spent all
clans,
mine.
you know. What's that? Oh, you
I
spent
spent
okay.
all my experience.
Let me have a look at your character. Let's see what you got. You can kind of see also that you have combat abilities and intrigue abilities, and they tell you how they calculate it all. So, like awareness and cunning are very important for intrigue. Agility, athletics, awareness, all very important for combat defense. Like any one of those can really add, but if you spread it out, get roughly the same effect.
Where is this?
On the combat section where the skills are listed on the right-hand side, you'll see combat defense. And then below that, you'll see agility plus athletics plus. You see what? Yeah, okay.
So where's the thing where you math out what your calculation is?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Where in the book is you calculate your point by?
I put it on the Roll20 in the bottom left. I'm moving it around there so you can see.
Yeah, just have the character sheet taking up most of the sheet.
Oh, okay.
So
You can open that up in a separate
page
window by
49.
hitting the double box in the top left.
Yeah, I'll keep it over to the left so you can kind of move your character sheet over to the right and hopefully see it. But basically, +1, 10 experience, +2. And if you want, since it is listed in a nice handy manner, reduce something to 1 to gain 50 extra experience. You definitely cannot go below 1. Actually, I think you were right. That is the maximum rank you can get in skills and starting skills.
So it's based on your age.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you know-
it's 7.
Yeah, for an adult.
And what was young adult? 5?
5.
Okay, thank you.
Which is still pretty good. Still very good.
Anyway, if I was going to play as a ninja, I would need stealth.
And see, I'm sitting here going, if I play as a general who's based on honor, something I'm not going to need is stealth.
Like, the idea I'm kind of cooking up with is she blends in really well. Like,
Friar, what would be the equivalent of charisma in this? Cunning?
Cunning and no, I think it's just cunning.
Alright,
Yeah.
thank you.
Cunning and deception would also help, but cunning is the main one. Cunning is like your influence attack.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I'm done for this part right now.
Okay. I'll just wait for everybody else to finish up. We're moving on to the next section.
If there's anything to need to do with bows, I will just die, I guess.
That need to do with bows?
I took a point for my marksmanship to give myself
Oh,
another
okay.
point in
Yeah.
cunning.
Not going to be practicing archery much?
At all, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I use deception for disguising myself?
I believe so. Yeah, in fact, disguise is one of the specialties. We'll get to specialties here in a second. But yeah, disguise
And-
is a ability of deception.
Just try and narrow down what abilities I want to actually get before I start doing the math.
Sure, sure.
So I'm leaning towards stealth, deception, thievery. No idea what else to get. I guess cunning if we don't have enough cunning people.
I mean, we've got at least one. I know that much. Hey, so where are you going with this? We're on the, like, in a continuum of combat versus non-combat. Where do you see yourself?
All right, I
Uh,
spent mine.
As close to non-combat as I can get.
Okay.
I guess my character would be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Mhm.
So I guess, what do ninjas traditionally use as a weapon? Because I know they tend to use like modified garden tools.
There's a
mean,
lot of them.
yeah.
What do you want to specialize in? There, I mean, there's the ninjato, there's the sai, there's shuriken,
Kunai.
which is basically scrap metal that's been sharpened. Poisons, darts.
You know, actually be good if I could just fucking carry around poisons on me.
Yeah,
As long as they didn't break.
like fighting is your big tentpole skill for using any weapons, and later you can specialize in individual weapons and weapon types.
Can you take a look at my character sheet real quick?
Sure. It's a lot of fives. Is that the math?
I've
right
got a
now?
lot of ones too.
Oh, you do. Yes, I see. Yeah, that does. And that does even out nicely in terms of narrative as well.
You'll notice what's in ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like you're done. It looks like a majority of people are done. So let me upload another thing real quick. Another screenshot. Next, you choose your specialties. Each skill can be broken down into a specialty. You get a number of points that you can spend, depending on your age, in specialties. And I'll also upload the list of specialties. Let me put that here, there. Sorry to anyone who is reading that. But each skill has a number of specialties. You might want to look at what your highest level skills are. And each time you put a rank in a specialty, you get a bonus dice. Bonus dice work kind of like a roll and keep. If you have a rank 2 and 1 bonus dice, you roll 3 dice and take the highest 2.
Wait a minute. Play that back on me one more time.
Yeah. So let's say you have rank 2 and something, and it's 1 specialty, 1 bonus die. So rank 2, 1 bonus dice, you roll 3 dice and keep The highest 2.
And how much is each specialty?
Um,
Because I don't have that many specialty points.
yeah.
Ooh, persuasion would be charisma too, wouldn't it? Cunning and persuasion.
So
For people that were talking about cunning or charisma, sorry.
I'm gonna have to move some things around, so bear with me for a second, so that I can fit all this on the screen. Again, sorry for anyone who's reading these while I move them. I cut off the first one, but here's the cost, the experience point cost.
Oh, okay.
So 1 bonus die is 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 30. It's pretty simple. Yeah.
And once you pick a specialty, you only get the bonus die when that is happening, right?
Yes. So, like, if you had fighting axes, you wouldn't get your bonus die for using spears. Yeah, there's a
I guess
lot of...
katana would count as a long blade.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm still a little bit confused as to what we're doing right now.
So after you finish your skills, you get to choose specialties. So right here, I'll highlight it. There we go. Is the amount of extra experience points you get to spend on specialties. This is just free on top of everything else. And then the cost
Is there a
Mhm.
list? Sorry, go ahead. I did not mean to interrupt. I'm bad at that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and below that is how much it costs to get these specialties. And these specialties grant bonus dice. The list of specialties is right over here as well. As you can see, the abilities on the left and lists how many specialties they have. You can see a full description of each in the book as well.
Okay, so that'll be where the specialties, like what the difference between dodge and stuff would be, right?
Yeah, so if you look under fighting, you'll see descriptions of, it says attack,
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
things like that.
What page is the specialty on? I'm not seeing it. Like I'm seeing examples of the actual skills, but not the specialties.
How does language work?
So each time you take the skill, each rank is an additional language you know.
So if I do +1 new ability, 1 for new language, so that a 0 in language would mean you still know your common tongue, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would spend that. Yeah, the +1 to spend 10 experience to get another language, and of course, you guys are fairly near Korea, so Korean wouldn't be out of the
Just
question.
to make sure I'm understanding this.
Sure. Yeah.
If I give 1 bonus die into cunning, I put that beside it, but like I'll get to roll.
Well, you have to pick decipher, logic, or memory. You see, cunning has 3 specialties on this list on the middle bottom.
Where would dodge come into play?
In combat. This thing has full combat rules for like getting down and dirty and like squares and movement and all that stuff. So like there's definitely going to be individual moments of battle.
Can you check my sheet and make sure I wrote that down right?
Oh, sure. I will say that I have not played around with the sheets much, so there might be some things I need to discover. Yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you.
How did you do that? Did you just click the right button?
I just clicked on the word.
Oh, on the word. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played around with the sheet much, unfortunately.
Wait, sorry, not the word, the little space beside the word, but still.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to find if there's a dedicated specialty description on some of these. I No, that's a thing. I think most of them will include. Yeah, most of them include their specialty except fighting. Fighting.
Where
at
does
least- Mhm.
where would like resilience and stamina come into play?
So if you're wearing heavy armor, you get fatigued, and that's mostly it.
So that would be stamina. Would resilience be like the ability to, I don't know, take hits and keep moving?
The description is: anytime you're exposed to a hazard, poison, disease, and similar, you may roll an endurance test to resist the effects of the hazard.
Okay. Do you mind if I? Oh, okay. Never know. I know what page that is.
If you go to page 62, underneath endurance, it should have resilience in the blue box, and then list of what it does, or description of what it does.
Thank you. See, this is what I was looking for earlier.
Yeah, it should be under the skill. Fighting for some reason doesn't list them, but I guess that's because most of it's self-explanatory.
All right, got mine slotted.
Woo! Finish my skills. All right, now what's this about the specialty? No, I'm kidding. I'll go read.
Yeah. You joke, but that scenario has happened in many a previous first session.
Oh, I'm not joking.
I'm still working on my skills.
In the sense that I just finished my skills.
No, I mean I can
but I
talk
was
about
listening.
specialties again if you want.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
So it's 70 to get it up to +3.
Wait a minute. Are the experience values cumulative?
Yeah, that's a question.
So if I go to rank 4, is that 40 experience total or 50?
No, it just costs 50
Whew, okay.
total. Yeah, it's
So
the cost is whatever it says on the right. Basically, you don't have to add up the previous levels.
in new abilities.
Oh, that means I got a lot more points to spend. Never mind, I'm not done with my skills yet.
Sorry, Grassland, what were you saying?
So if I want something to get to level 3rd rank, I'm spending 70 points.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
That's wild that a +2 is +30 over a +1, and a +3 is +30 over a... Oh, they all are. Shit, never mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the +1 for a cheap one, but other than that, it's +30 more.
Yeah. Fuck, that means I gotta retally my entire shit.
Wah, wah, wah,
Time to bust
It
out the
happens.
calculator and find out where I actually am in terms of cost.
This is the only problem with some sort of like a point by skill type system is that you got to sit there and crunch some numbers.
Alright, yeah, my calculator up.
Yeah.
All right, Friar, can I get some advice? I've got 10 points left, so I've got 1 bonus dice left. Don't worry about warfare. I got that handled. But
Okay.
for a young general, what do you think? I can't decide whether or not I want to go with something fighting related, like my long blade or whatever, or something else. I was thinking dodge, but my defense is already a 12, so...
You might want to invest in find a skill you're not great in that is find a weak point and buff it up a little with a bonus die.
Any suggestions?
Maybe something in persuasion. Let me double check here.
So I'm adding 3 points to my skills.
Maybe cunning. Would cunning help me when it came to dealing with opponents as well as dealing with
With court entry, yeah, I mean, somewhat, but not too much. Like, I'm thinking something that would help you deal with, like, your own troops or, like, other generals who may not respect you because you're young. Like, something like persuasion could definitely help that.
Like persuasion, convince, or intimidate, or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what... I can't remember what insight is. Oh, okay. Never mind. I found it. But yeah, something like a charm or convince. Like you could do it. There's taunt. Taunt can actually be useful during duels. There is a dueling system in this game. It's actually a jousting system, but it works perfectly well for duels as well.
How does status work?
So we'll get to that. We'll.
Oh, am I not supposed to be spending points on status right now?
You can't spend points on status.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I should have mentioned that earlier. Want to make sure nobody is spending any points on status. Status is determined separately. That's why it's gold on the sheet. And it looks like nobody messed with it except Aso.
Okay, so I think my stats are done.
Okay, have a look here.
I'm gonna
Knowing
be
me,
right back.
I probably fucked it up somehow because this is me you're talking to.
I don't know the math off the top of my head, obviously, but I mean it looks right. You got some fives, but then again you got ones in some good places.
I'm a ninja. Why do I need to learn how to handle an animal?
Yeah, well, horse, but yes. In case you ever
I
need
think-
to do some sort of horse riding thing.
Oh, right, I'm just gonna, hide inside the horse. Hello, friends, I am horse.
That's such a well-spoken horse.
Nay. I am going to poison your family later on. Feed me, hey. Great, I need to find like a Japanese pun name for horse.
Jeez. Is that like a? I wonder if is that like a mocap suit that? Or something?
Have you seen the That's Correct video, Friar?
No. I saw that they mocapped a camel for the new Assassin's Creed. Seeing a camel in a mocap suit is pretty funny. I'll have to watch that later. With the streaming and whatnot, I don't want to bring any problems.
No, that's fine.
Want to cause no trouble. Your defenses and stuff should already be auto-calculated. That's good. So now, Grassland, we need to mess with specialties.
Alright.
So
How'd I do that again?
Sure. On the Roll20 screen, you can see that there's specialties, specialty costs. Depending on your age, you get a certain amount of basically bonus XP that can only be spent on specialties.
All right, I finished.
And at the bottom of that is the cost. It's basically 10 per level. So 1 costs 10, 2 costs 20, 3 costs 30.
Wow, that was a shitty fucking roll.
Wow, yeah. I wonder does that with a specialty? Did you roll a specialty?
No, that's with a specialty.
I want to make sure that it's keeping. Yeah, okay. It's using the keep to command. Good. So basically every skill Grasslam has at least one specialty associated with it. And so you go through and pick, and these will give you bonus dice that you can use.
All right.
So, like, if you're an adult, you have 80 points to spend.
Oh,
And, you know, like deception disguise, for instance. You were talking about wanting to be a horse. Definitely fall into the realm of disguise.
The well-spoken Japanese-speaking horse. And then how much would it be to buy that?
But it depends on what level. Again, the prices are down here in the bottom left. So a level 1 bonus die is 10 points. 2 bonus die is 20.
All right.
Yeah.
Open this up.
Oh yeah, so it's the right hand little button. Pops that out and you just fill in what the specialty is and how many dice and all that. So let's talk a bit about status. You have to basically pick where you fall in the status ranks. So the ranks go from 0, which would be a slave, to 10, which is the emperor. The lord of a minor house is 4. Rank is status 4. But that also includes the maester, which in this particular scenario would be any sort of advisor. Junior members of a religious group, a member of a noble house, heir to a minor house, important foreign dignitary, and certain officers of the shogun. So, Troy, you're playing an heir.
Yes.
You would be status rank 4.
All right.
So pop that up there. Next, status rank 3 includes a
We-
landed knight. Huh? I'm
We
sorry?
just changed like the number next to status to 4, right?
Mhm.
All right, just making sure.
No problem. So number 3 is landed knight, which would mean samurai. A sworn sword, which is just a mercenary, a ronin who works right now. Veteran member of the and just any sort of member of a minor house, which would be non-heir family members.
Okay. I was looking at the what's the difference between a landed knight would just be like an actual soldier.
Well,
wouldn't
landed
it,
knight
as opposed
in this
to
case,
like a commander, which would be a general.
yeah. But again, there's no like you're just a specifically important general, but you're still like among the rank of samurai. So if you met with another samurai,
So I'm rank 3 then.
and so what is your relationship to the house, to the clan?
I see myself as like an apprentice to a maester, or something kind of like that.
So it looks like you're probably going to be rank 2. Acolyte Maester is there.
Cool.
Again, for everybody else, you can ignore the word Maester. This is just me and Asa who have seen the show and or read the books. So, but rank 2 would also include anyone who's just a house retainer, a lesser merchant, a hedge knight, which I guess I would actually be a ronin, and sworn sword would be a bushi soldier. Yes. Okay. So I would say, Grasslime, you're also status rank 2
Okay.
because you're a house retainer. So status ranks will come into play like during any sort of social interactions. Like people of the same status will respect you more, or greater status will respect you more than if you're of lesser status. And it's not just narrative; it's also in when you're involved in influence combat. Also represents like your reputation and your breeding, like basically how you would know tea ceremony and the proper way to bow and all this stuff. Anytime that comes into play, you roll status to find out. So I want to make sure everybody has also got their destiny points. If anybody still needs their destiny points, let me know.
How many do I have again? Young adult.
Yeah. You have 5. You have 5 there. Anyone who's an adult will have 4. Again, let me know if you are something else, since I can tell you the destiny points. Let's see. After that comes the advantages and disadvantages section. So like a lot of games, this has certain qualities that will give you bonuses and certain qualities it won't. You can think of the positives as feats and drawbacks as the opposite thereof. You can find a full big old page long, like I think multi-page long, no, just 1 page long table of all this in the book on page 75.
So how many
Oh, no, I'm
benefits do we
sorry.
pick? And
It actually starts on page 73 and is multi-page table. Let me look that up real quick.
What's 1B?
Bonus die. Yeah, B represents the bonus die, and you'll see like plus 1D or plus minus 1D. That's just your regular rolling die.
okay, now where do we put these, and how do we know how many we get?
Okay, so first let me double check about the number here. Oh, I see. Unless your age says that you get a benefit, then you can instead spend your destiny points to get benefits. Whenever you spend a destiny point, destiny qualities.
Spend or burn? I mean, these qualities are permanent, are they not?
Yes, the qualities are permanent.
So if you
I
spend
do
a destiny
believe-
point,
Yeah, I do believe burn. Let me double check here. Yes. So it's at least 1 destiny point per thing, unless it notes otherwise. You can see that they're divided into subheaders. So you can, like, if you don't want to mess with weapons or anything like that, you can come down to social qualities on page 75, and they have some stuff there. With a short list of the effects, like the full list will be noted in the actual entry, of course, as per usual.
So basically, we have the option of spending our edge for benefits.
Unless your age gives you special benefits. Again, I don't
Where-
think anybody.
where would that be?
What's that? The age part?
Yeah, the age for special benefits. Is that in a table somewhere?
Yeah, let me pull it up here. Adult gets. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's for flaws. Adult gets 1 flaw that they have to take. But yeah, so otherwise, yeah, you can save your destiny points, or you can spend them to get permanent upgrades. And these are the benefits. Yeah.
Benefits. Oh, so the maximum benefits on table 310. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to save my points.
310.
Yeah, it's on page 51.
I'm not really wild about spending my destiny points yet.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can start out without that. It looks like for pretty much everybody until you get to old, it's 3. So you could spend up to 3 destiny points to get benefits.
But then we lose them.
Yes. You won't.
So talk
have
to us a
access
little
to them.
bit. What else can we do with these destiny points? Like, are we being fools by holding on to them, or?
So, all right, here are the effects. These are on page 72. If you spend it, you can gain like 1 bonus die. You can like remove a die on an opponent, like take an extra action, like an extra attack. Ignore armor penalty for 1 round. Improve disposition, which is the sort of social combat. And add minor detail to the scene. If you burn it, you would convert all bonus dice into test dice, which means you could keep them all. Burning gets a +5 to a roll. Automatically succeed on 1 roll. Remove all damage and injuries by burning 1.
Hold on a minute. What explain to me the difference between bonus dice and test dice again? Because I see that in the effects.
Test dice, you keep. Bonus dice, you have to, like, if you get 1 bonus die, then 1 die has to be removed from the amount rolled. You remove the lowest, but you keep all your test dice. So, like, if you convert all bonus dice to test dice, you could roll 4 dice instead of removing the lowest 2. You keep all 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I had an ability score of 4 and 2 bonus dice for the particular task that I was trying to do,
Yeah.
you would still only keep 4 dice, but you would keep the highest 4 and drop
That's
the
right.
2.
That's right.
Okay. Unless you have a benefit that turns bonus dice into test dice, and then you
which
just
is
keep them all.
burning a destiny point.
Right.
It's like, destiny points are, as you can tell, kind of like useful in like a challenge per challenge basis, and you could very well get more effect by taking qualities. Qualities are more permanent.
What's the frequency with which the destiny points refresh?
Remember, it only refreshes if you spend, but I think it's a session.
Okay.
I think that's right. I'll look that up here in a second. But yeah, you probably do want to take some qualities, because using these destiny points is very much like a temporary bonus rather than a permanent bonus.
So when something says sacrifice bonus dice for a free degree, what does that mean?
So degrees of success, and you're familiar with them. Like every X number of you roll above the target, you get a degree of success. And degrees of success, like in damage, are multipliers, and like in social situations, are can dramatically change how a person views you, or in other situations you could like determine. Like if you're investigating something, right, and you not only roll the target number, you roll like 10 above it. Well, then you not only find out what you were looking for, but you get new and extra information as well.
Okay.
So rolling well above the target number definitely helps.
What's the cross symbol imply in the quality names?
Can be taken multiple times.
Oh.
You notice that they're heritage qualities. Like, obviously, you can feel free to rename that to whatever you want.
You are uncommonly lucky. How would that come into play?
Well, let's look up the entry itself here. They're, I think, in alphabetical
Blood
order.
of the Andals?
Blood of the Andals. Choose one ability you have at rank 3 or greater. Whenever you test this ability, you may re-roll a single die. And take the result of the second roll, even if it's worse. In addition, once per day, you can add +2 to the result of any one test.
Okay. And then what's the one that's under it? The makes you hardy and the blood of the first men or something like that?
Increase your health by 2. In addition, when you test endurance, add +2 to the test result. Like, generally, most of these qualities are kind of better than a destiny point. They're worth it.
The descriptions for all of these, by the way, are later in Chapter 5.
Yeah, you can just scroll down past the
The
table.
bookmarks in this book are really good. So, like, if you open up the benefits section, you can see every benefit by name and just click on it, which is nice.
Yeah, this is one of the nicest PDFs.
You know, favorite of small folks would be super good to actually have.
What'd you say?
Favorite of small folks. The action might be super good to have.
Yeah, small folks is just like Game of Thrones' way of saying peasant.
Oh.
It's a nicer way of saying peasant.
Let's see, so an adult we have 8, so maybe I'll just grab like 2 or 3.
Yeah, you can have a maximum of 3.
Wait a minute, as an adult you have 8 destiny points?
No. 7. That's
yeah.
No, that's 7
No.
is not the destiny points. That's the
That's
maximum.
the highest skilled. Yeah. That's the highest number of points you can put in any given skill.
Well, where the heck am I? Where's that table? Let me pull that up again.
It's 310, page 72? 70 something.
Adult gets 4 destiny points.
Mm-hmm.
Grassland.
Alright, I don't know what numbers are coming from.
Okay, that's fine. I'll copy and paste this into the Roll20.
I was going to be really impressed if you had 8 destiny points, given that the slider on the character sheet only goes to 7.
I stole them.
You are as yet an unborn fetus.
You're the future emperor. It's a hell of a destiny.
So I can't find sponsor. All it says is you gain a powerful ally.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the total of it.
Yeah, but what can you have them do?
Sponsor. Oops. Personal quality will vouch for you. Sponsor is a requirement for several qualities. You and the narrator should work together to define the person who stands for you. Should be related to one of the qualities you pursue. A sponsor may grant you information, audiences, companionship, and even take an interest in your development. Though this quality typically does not provide a mechanical benefit. That's nice of them to say.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like it's mostly a requirement, but also you can call this person in and have, like, you know, narrative weight with bringing in so-and-so.
Gotcha.
So I think I'm going to grab Dexterous and Favored of Common.
Okay. And, of course, you can take one more if you want. You can take up to 3.
No, then I want to leave the other 2, just to be safe.
Yeah, that's the only advantage in being
We're
young.
still on
is that you get-
specialties, right?
No, sorry. Are you done with your specialties?
Yeah, I have been for a while. Sorry.
No, we're on to benefits.
Oh, sorry. I got lost.
Oh, that's fine. This is, it's character creation. We're in the high weeds. It front loads, all that stuff. Starting on page 73, you'll find a big list, and you buy these with your destiny points.
Do you put your benefits underneath qualities?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So you have this big list of stuff here, but they're kind of divided by subheader, and there's some good bookmarks on the PDF. So if you want to find something you want bonuses in, you can spend 1 destiny point per ability unless noted otherwise.
And where do these go again on the spreadsheet?
On the not the combat, but the other one, the character section.
Right.
Yeah.
Under qualities, I guess.
Yes.
How?
Mhm.
Okay, so the whole campaign's going to take place in feudal Japan.
Mhm.
How standardized is Japanese at this stage? Is it heavily regional, or is it pretty well?
The language itself, I mean, I'm not entirely certain, but I'd say it's fairly standardized by now.
So the reason I ask is because I put 3 points in a language, and I'm trying to figure out whether that was a good or bad idea.
Well, I mean, that would allow you to know like all these extra languages. So, I mean, there's definitely Korean to deal with, and potentially Chinese, and there's the.
It seems
the
like you
Ryukyu
can
people.
level up. You can level up separate languages. Is that true?
I think as specialties.
Oh,
I think
okay.
each one is a new. I think no. I'm sorry. Each one is a new skill.
Yeah. So on the character sheet, it shows up as just one skill, but obviously they're separate languages with separate skills.
Yeah, I just list them as specialties, basically.
Okay.
Just making sure I can only pick up to how many fate points I have of these benefits, right?
No, you can only do 3. Wait, you're adult?
I am young adult.
Young adult.
What about young adult?
Young adult can...
Everybody's max 3.
Yeah. Until you get to old, then
Yeah.
So you guys are 3 as well. It's just maximum number of benefits you can have is 3.
Hold on.
This is the part where things like the wheels come off and people are, get lost in the high grass because there's a lot of stuff here. Go on.
So I'm reading through the polyglot benefit.
Uh-huh. Let me look that up.
And it says you may read any language in which you have at least 1 rank. Isn't that assumed? Or is it that if you know a language, you don't necessarily know how to write it?
So languages. Rank 1, your simple understanding allows you to convey basic concepts through speech only. This is on page 65. It shows you what each of the ranks give you in terms of language.
65, okay.
Mm-hmm. I'd say there's, about 4 languages you could potentially encounter in addition to Japanese.
Do I have to spend
Maybe 5.
specialty bonus on the... No, each language is its own separate...
Yeah, their own separate skill. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, you see how it's showing like 2 is common understanding, speak it well, still illiterate. 3 is literacy, so forth. So like 1 language at literacy.
I'd like to duck back into skills for just a second.
Sure.
Just because of some prerequisites.
Mm-hmm. Just make sure to
So I'm gonna
double
have-
check your totals.
Yep, I am.
Yep.
Just you'll have to say my name to get my attention at this point is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm doing maths.
Yeah. If anybody needs any help, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, I can definitely look at your character sheet and recommend some.
All right, I got my qualities. Feel free to look at them if you want, Friar.
If you want, you can write more to remind yourself what they do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to write as much as you're comfortable with, but yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm trying to think about Japanese history.
okay. Specifically,
Have the Dutch showed up yet?
like
I think he was saying it was right before they showed up, because when they showed up, they brought firearms, didn't they?
yeah, this is like within. I'd have to check the dates. Like I have a year in mind here.
The reason I ask is because the Dutch brought with them, amongst other things, texts, texts on Western medicine and other,
Yeah.
which presumably at the time would have been written in Latin or maybe French.
Introduced in 1543. No, we're like 20 years out from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I bought another benefit because this one seemed too good to pass off.
You bought the which one?
The furtive.
Okay.
It's for stealth.
All right, I fixed mine.
Oh, that's what cohort is. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to think up who your cohort is going to be.
Actually, no, I can't take it because I didn't take sneak.
So, Troy, that's like, it's actually recommending creating a whole second character.
Sorry, what?
Under your cohort ability or benefit, it says it recommends going through and creating a whole new character as a second character to have with you. If you don't feel like doing
that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what it wants. You don't have to do that. One of the things, like I can create one for you if you give me some like general notes, or you can pick out one of the pre-made characters that the system has.
I was debating
What
looking
page?
into that one myself.
Friar, what page is it on?
Let me see. It's around here somewhere. Starting on page 33. And mind you, this is still the Game of Thrones book, but just translate everything over. Like, there's some stuff like a God Sworn, for instance, would be a temple priestess or a Buddhist monk. And a maester would be just an advisor.
Oh, I'm looking through the classes.
No, these aren't classes. These are just pre-made characters.
All right, give me a bit. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so how's everybody doing on benefits?
I didn't take it because I didn't take sneak, so I'm just back up to 2.
Okay.
I'm at 2 right now.
Okay.
If you care to know what they are, I'll let you know.
Well, I can check your character sheet.
You can do that too.
As always, feel free to write down as many notes as you want there. That little area will expand.
Okay.
You can click and drag, and it'll get much bigger. Yeah, but when you're done with that, then there's basically disadvantages that we'd have to mess with. Which anyone who's an adult has to take one. don't quite. Some of these fields, man, they don't make any sense. Like, there's a field for vice and virtue, but that's not like you could come up with a vice and virtue, but there's not like a quality called.
Wait a
Wait,
minute.
there is, and I'm just a moron. Table.
Hold on. So you start with 2 points in language, right? Just like every other skill.
No, not normally. It just says that on that sheet. Normally, you start
you
with
sure
no
about
points
that?
in language. Pretty sure.
Yeah, because it says specifically in the skill purchase, if you look where it says new ability, rank +1 is 3 or 1 for new language.
Well, the book says under language, the starting rank in this ability applies to your knowledge of the common tongue spoken throughout Westeros.
It also
Right.
says you start with rank 0 in all other languages.
Other languages, though, right? So the way I read this,
Huh.
the implication is that
Yeah.
the average character at
Has
base,
a rank 2. Yeah.
yeah, has common understanding of the language and can speak it well enough, but you're illiterate. So ain't nobody can read Japanese. I mean, this is one of those areas where I think the conversion gets a little hairy, right? Because in the Game of Thrones universe, knowledge is heavily restricted, right? And so I think by the time this era of Japan rolled around, I think any non-peasant could probably read at a basic level.
I'm not going to do this, but I just had an idea for if I had wanted to be like a foreigner up, sir. Could I have done that? Like I would have started off as like being a vassal of some kind. Is what I'm getting at.
I'm sorry, a foreign what?
Like some kind of person that wants to take it over and it wasn't Japanese to begin with.
Weeb.
No, like okay.
No,
there was
I think I get what you're talking about.
Sorry.
I'm just worried that would have been too much for you, basically.
You mean like a conqueror? Like someone who would like to show up and...
No. I'm talking about like I'm not exactly saying this, but
Like Shogun?
the fuck. No, not Shogun. Like the Last Samurai. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Someone who was not originally from this environment got welcomed into it, not
Yes.
necessarily under good standards, but has earned their place.
Like, have you ever
Yeah.
seen the TV show Shogun?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, it's
All
about
right.
an early white Westerner who got shipwrecked and
Baka
got
Gaiji.
accepted into a clan.
or
It's
like the
essentially what I'm
early,
getting at.
or Niho.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, no, we can work with that, absolutely.
I'm not doing that. I was just curious.
You could have that as your cohort.
Yeah, it'd be
No,
interesting.
thank you.
Didn't Oda Nobunaga have a black advisor?
Yes. Well, he was a samurai under him, a Ronin or whatever.
Well, I mean, like I said, you could have your cohort. be-
His famous advisor killed him. Friar.
I'm sure he had lots of advisors, but anyway.
No, specifically the one that took over after him was his like most trusted one, and he's the one that like started all that war after Oda had almost conquered all Japan.
So, I would be willing to say that your basic rank 2 gives you literacy. I don't know the literacy rate of medieval Japan, but for the purposes of this,
So, let me ask you this. How does that affect the rest of the scale then? Because that's normally a language 3 perk, is the ability to read.
let's
'Cause
treat it as like a +1. Like, let's adjust the scale by 1.
All right, I've finished my benefits. If you'd like to look.
Okay.
I mean, that's the easiest way to go about doing that. Is just adjust the scale up a little bit.
Sure.
Oh, nice.
What would I call a Japanese maester?
So to answer your guys' question on the average literate person, I just talked to one of my friends who actually specialized in that when he was in college. He said that the average person could read a little bit, but most of people couldn't really write.
I think 3 is good for that then, because it implies that you are barely literate. You know.
It was because there was a lot of written history. So if they wanted to know about history, they needed to be able to read. Writing was a different story.
Cool. But Friar, what would I write down as a Japanese maester?
So maester is just like an advisor, just like a, I don't know, Japanese word for vizier, but some sort of like
I'll just use vizier then.
yeah, like an official like steward, castellan, that sort of thing.
So what were you saying nice about? Were you looking at my character sheet when you said that?
Yeah,
Oh,
about
no, I
wealthy.
said nice because of what you were talking about. It's nice to learn stuff.
Oh, wealthy? Yeah. That one was too good for me to pass up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering cadre or cadre or however it is.
Cadre. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
Huh.
I added the what type of devoted ally he is, by the way, Friar.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and you can just like refer back to that for all of the stats. I can make an NPC and like copy and paste that in there if necessary. I might do that actually during the week, during downtime. Make an NPC for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you're done, Dylan's done, Grasslam, you're done,
I'm done. I'm waiting on Vices.
and Aso?
Or Dry Blacks, whatever the fuck's called.
You can move on without me. It's gonna be a bit.
Okay. Well, next word would be, I'll wait for Dylan to come back, and then we'll move on to that. There are vices and virtues, but they're sort of like like a role-playing thing. You just kind of roll for them to see how you are. It's like they're optional. But we'll talk a little bit about that later.
Can you have negative specialty? Is that a thing?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you can set the value.
Just
but...
so you know, I changed
Alright, I'm back.
my ally over the last second.
Oh, okay.
Have I missed anything?
Nope. I was held back and waited for you.
I really appreciate that because this system, you know me, I normally pick up on these systems pretty quickly, but this one's kind of hitting me in the head.
Ah. Okay, so anyone who has a character who is adult or above, you need to take at least one drawback. Drawbacks can be found. I'm trying to find the big table of them. Here we are. Page 94. And this is a much smaller table. There's just the one page. They're all pretty simple. By the way, I forgot to mention in qualities and benefits, there are some that are supernatural. So if you were interested in playing a character with some supernatural abilities, because this is sort of, there's going to be, a little touch of supernatural to this. So like I said, mythic Japan.
So I didn't even think to run that by you. Are you okay with the cadre ability?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just figured it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What qualifies as a similar language?
Well, in this
To
case,
Japanese, not much.
well,
Yeah.
Chinese and Korean share more in common with Japanese than, say, Cyrillic in the north, or
Sure.
uh,
I guess you got a point.
Thai or
So-
something.
so
in the south.
So the reason I ask is because it's at rank 6 in language, it says such as your mastery language that you can communicate in similar languages as if you have rank 2 in them. So if
So
I
you
can get
say-
to rank 6 in Japanese, does that mean that I can communicate at a level 2 in like Korean and Chinese?
I'll give it to you.
So you're saying that stupid idea I had about people pretending to be humans when actually Kitsunes could potentially work?
Sorta. Like you could. There's a thing in Game of Thrones that I think is kind of neat, and why not use it? Is wargs, people who can control animals with their mind.
Oh, that's cool.
And also there are green dreams, which are the ability to have prophetic dreams. But yeah, you only have to take one drawback if you're an adult.
Young adults don't have to, right?
That's right. They don't have to take any drawbacks. That's another bonus of youth. And there's a one called flaw, and flaw is the opposite of specialty.
Oh man.
Question:
Go
if we
ahead.
take a flaw and if we're not required to take a flaw and we choose to take one, do we get any benefit from that or any balance to that?
No, there doesn't seem to be. Yeah, it says when you gain a drawback as a consequence. Oh no, it's nope. Yep, you gain one destiny point.
So
Okay.
if I take Nemesis, can I have a badass rival ninja?
Absolutely,
Badass Bible ninja. I'm picturing
Right.
I'm picturing a nun with nunchucks.
rival, but yes.
I'm kind of leaning towards that because that seems awesome.
You cannot have more drawbacks than you have benefits. So that's a thing. If you want a power game and get a bunch of drawbacks.
No.
What do the drawbacks provide? Sorry.
If you take one when you don't have to, you get a destiny point.
Eh.
Yeah, so there. So it's definitely that sort of system where being a one-legged, blind dwarf is going to allow you to be a badass ninja.
It's interesting. The system, a lot of the character creation aspects have a very Shadowrun-y vibe to them. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think Shadowrun is some of the most detailed, flexible character creation in existence. But
So
All
taking a
feels
flaw would
very
not
good.
allow us to get an extra benefit if we're already at cap, right?
That's right.
you do get an extra destiny point.
Yeah. That you can use like any other destiny point during play. It all feels very GURPSy to me. Except there are no there are no like main attributes. It goes right into these sort of skill attributes.
I know which one I'm taking.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience with Shadowrun to say, but
I'm looking at one of these drawbacks, and like even if I didn't get a benefit for it, I probably would still take it.
honor bound.
Yep.
I'm taking Nemesis because that's fucking awesome.
Man, this kind of sucks.
What is it?
Well, it's like if
About like-
so okay, so my max rank for starting skills is 4, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm an adolescent. And
I'm sorry, I was eating.
the at rank 6, which is now rank 5 because we've shifted the entire scale down, right? I can then communicate in similar languages as if I have rank 2 in them. So, I mean, if I just wait for a couple of sessions,
Mhm.
I don't need to put points in any other language, right? Because I'll be able to communicate verbally in all of the regional languages, basically.
Sure, in most of them. The majority.
So let me ask you this then: Is there a non-similar language that I can put some language points into? That would be valuable. I mean, obviously, there's lots of them.
Sure. I wasn't there contact pre-guns? I'm trying to think if there was any other European contact before now. Or before then. Nope. And I was right, Portuguese. Take
Portuguese.
That. But the Portuguese and the Dutch were very big there, yes.
Yeah. Well, the Portuguese took over the spice trade, right? So.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be much contact with Russia necessarily, but I don't know what language the Ryukyu Islands speak, but they do speak their own language. Or did. Until they were taken over by Japan. And also the Ainu people who live on the northern island of Japan. At this time, Japan wasn't very concerned with the northern island, so a lot of it is left as wilderness for the Ainu people.
Ainu as in Inuit? Is that the same root?
I don't know.
Oh, Ainu, A-I-N-U.
Mm-hmm. Which is the tribe of people where the main character is from, Princess Mononoke.
Good old Hokkaido.
Speaking of saying random things, whenever I think about Kyoto, I can't help but think of the joke from Futurama, which is they fly by a sign, "Welcome to Kyoto." The anagram lovers Tokyo.
Okay, so I think I'm good on flaws.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, how much more do we have?
Not much. There's just equipment and like a little bit of like role playing background stuff to fill in, like background event and vice and virtue, that sort of thing.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Is there like a bestiary of sorts?
Yeah, there's one in the narrator section, which I think is chapter 11.
Gotcha.
And also I have a couple of extra books that have some stuff in them.
Okay.
You looking for stats for your people? For your cohort?
No, I know where those guys are. Okay. Those guys are on page 176. They're all considered guards.
And there's a section, the chapter for warfare, chapter 10, also has stats on like units of people.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. It's technically page 178.
Grasslam and Troy, you guys have any problems or need any...
Nope.
I'm just looking over the drawbacks right now.
Sure. So let's move on to the...
Hey, real quick question.
Sure.
On page 178, the table we were just talking about, so there's two sections for personal guards. There's starting equipment and equipment upgrades. what would what would be the requirement to get that upgrade?
I'm not sure off the top of my head what the prices are. I am not as familiar with that section of the book,
Okay.
so I will definitely read up on that though.
Please and thank you. So you said next we're doing equipment.
No, next we're going to do the background stuff here. So let me pull that up.
All right, I'm gonna run and grab a cigarette.
Did you hear me, Friar?
No, sorry.
I said that I give myself a draft back, so now I have 6 destiny points. Just letting you know.
Damn.
6?
You're not taking any
Did we-
benefits?
Me?
Yeah.
I have them listed, don't I?
Well, I mean, the benefits cost destiny points.
Oh, I didn't know even I could add any destiny points. I thought I just had to have qualities.
Well, I mean, like you have to, each quality basically is 1 destiny points worth. So you like lose 1 destiny point for each quality.
Oh, I thought you just had to pick 3 regardless.
No.
You pick up to 3.
Yeah, 3 is just the maximum number you can have. But no, they each cost a destiny point.
All right, sorry.
Oh, that's no problem. Don't have to worry about. We're all learning a new system, so.
There, fixed it.
And if you want to, you can take drawbacks. You don't have to because you're adolescent, but if you want, you can take ones and get destiny points back.
That's what I did. I got one, so
Okay.
now I have 3 altogether.
You have 3 drawbacks.
Look, 3 things that would have gave me 2 destiny points, and then I took a drawback, so that's 3.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. So this is just where is it? These are kind of mostly role-playing stuff. It provides a table you can roll on, but I'm going to say people can pick on page 47. Again, this is just role-playing stuff. You can actually make these up if you want. But this is just a list of potential. This is vices, virtues, motivations, goals, background. But they give you some ideas.
What's the narrow sea? Is that a Game of Thrones thing?
Yeah. It would be in this context, it would be like going from Japan to Korea or China.
Someone somewhere must have written a thesis transplanting the concepts and ideas of Game of Thrones onto Japan. This must have been someone's like
It's this stream. This is my thesis.
I'm just suggesting someone may have gotten there first. This sounds like a an undergrad thesis if I ever heard one.
Are we supposed to actually roll for these, or?
No, you can choose or you can make up your own. But these are just like short little role-playing things to keep in mind.
Where do we even put them?
They should be on the character
stuff
section.
like that. But where's backgrounds? Would that be under? No, never mind.
Do we receive any fake qualities associated with our birth house?
Any fate qualities?
Yeah.
Where do you see this at?
Okay, so I'm reading the detailed text about the Maester benefit. And there's a bunch of other stuff, but in addition, it says taking this quality results in the loss of any fate qualities tied to your birth house.
Oh, no, I have no idea. I thought I knew, but then I realized I didn't. Let me check something here.
What would the difference between power and security be as far as goals go?
Power would just be like raw control over things, like expanding your influence, expanding your reach and things like that. To, I guess, in your case, to control more of the forces of the island, and maybe even control areas of the mainland. And
Okay.
security would be, making sure that you hold on to what you have.
Gotcha.
So fate qualities are a specific set of qualities you can get, like cadre, cohort, air. These are all fate qualities.
Okay, so the birth house doesn't necessarily automatically grant any, but any of them that would be specifically associated with your birth house would be lost.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm. And as far as I can tell, that's the case. I'm double checking here. I don't see any reference to fate qualities outside of that. If you give me just 1 second.
Sure. Good Christ.
What?
Becoming a maester is fucking hard, man. Requires 2 or more knowledge focuses. Okay. So that would be all 3, right? You'd have 2 knowledge focuses and the maester, and that would be all of the benefits one could take.
What's this?
Oh, I'm just commenting on how kind of unattainable maester is. If you want to do anything else interesting with your character, at character creation anyway. Although I think it would be kind of funny to be an adolescent maester. It's
Again,
tempting.
a child macer.
Yeah.
Literally just like a 5-year-old.
Hey, I'm
Anime
11
territory there.
in 2 months, okay?
Wouldn't that be like? That'd be like Sheldon as a child, wouldn't it be?
Oh, God.
Oh god, throw him to the ocean.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the only thing left after that is equipment.
Do you want to peek at mine?
Sure.
What page is gear on?
It starts at 125. No,
So I
seems
want
like
my gear to just be nothing but chickens.
good.
Yeah. How much money do we have?
Somewhere.
And do benefits
Sounds
like
like
wealthy
somewhere.
change that at all?
Not unless it specifically says, like in the text of the drawback or text of the quality.
No, it doesn't.
Starting possessions. Here we are. Okay, so you roll a status test. You roll a status roll, and that determines how many gold pieces you have.
Shit.
Yeah, you're telling me.
What's your status?
2.
It also says you must spend at least half of your funds on equipment. The rest you can have in reserve.
Don't worry, I'm also a status 2 buddy.
When you say gold pieces, that's the equivalent of a gold dragon, right?
Uh-huh. So, give me them rolls.
Now, question.
Uh-huh.
So it's status is status times 1 is that many gold pieces, right?
No. You roll a status, and the number that comes up on the dice is the number of gold pieces.
Yeah. So Grasslam has 9 gold dragons, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. The reason I ask is because of the wording that's in that wealthy thing. It says, the start of each month, you may roll a cunning or status test to refill your coffer. Success earns you 10 gold dragons times your degree of success.
Wow.
I rolled mine for her.
Yeah, me too.
I
don't
didn't
know.
mean to hit it twice. Sorry.
Oh, that's no
And
problem.
it says it's an easy test, which is 3 or more, according to this, I think.
Yeah, to succeed on it. Yeah.
So how much gold does that mean I have?
You have 14 gold pieces worth.
Thank you.
And like on the chapter 7, it'll like break down gold into silver and all that. I think it's
There's a place to put
200.
that on our character sheets.
1 gold dragon is 210 stags, whatever that means.
Silver, basically.
So I can't. Yeah, can you move that over a little bit so we can see it a little bit better? It's in the top right currently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There is no. I would say put it under something like mannerisms and customs, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, there is no specific area, which is a shame.
You could probably put it under experience because I imagine you're gonna have experience points and then money there. Thank you.
There we go. That's a good spot for it.
And the number we rolled is the number of gold dragons we
Uh-huh.
have? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to say go ahead and make a status roll for starting equipment, and then you can make that wealth roll in play.
Okay. So, all right, gotcha. Fuck.
It's not great, but it's not, too terrible.
Good God, man.
What's it?
I rolled 1 less dice than you ended up with.
I know. Don't remind me. Shut up.
I thought my roll was bad.
I
Yeah,
rolled
great.
2 2s and a 1.
Grasslam, you'll be happy to know there's an entire section on poisons.
Hooray!
Fuck. All right. So I have 5 gold pieces.
Now, obviously, this doesn't have katanas, but we'll just say that a long sword.
Do they have a bastard sword in here? Yes, they do. Katana in most games is basically the equivalent of a bastard sword, but curved. Because you can use it single-handedly or hand and a half.
That's fine.
You okay with that?
That's
All right.
fine. Yeah. I think those all have slightly different statistics, but excuse me, statistics. So you could choose from that. But yeah, any of the long blades. is fine.
I'll look at them real quick.
Yeah.
find them.
It's under combat.
Oh, under combat. Do you know what page that's on?
Let me see if I can find it real quick. 156.
Thank you.
Just ignore Brafosi Blade and Arak. Those are both specific to Game of Thrones, and really don't make sense in the environment.
I will be right
I'm
back.
so bad at math.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Other than a calculator. That's
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Mhm.
how much time are we going to spend in combat?
uh
I mean, a lot of that's going to depend on our decisions, I assume.
like I don't imagine you're going to be spending much time in combat at all. Like even if you get into combat, it's going to be not a lot of being able to aid and that sort of stuff.
So a stag is silver, right?
Uh-huh. And meanwhile, Dylan's character has a cohort of in the literal sense. He has a group of people with him who can fight. So I don't imagine too awful much because we have a group kind of focused on intrigue and stealth, and like one guy who is focused on combat. So
Focus on combat hardcore.
I mean, there'll definitely be some combats, definitely be some times for it, like especially more in like duels and challenges and things like that. But yeah,
I can poison the shit out of everyone.
yeah.
So am I understanding this right? SS is silver stags.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Weapons savant. Agility 4, cunning 4, fighting 5. Ignore trained requirement and penalties with weapons. Otherwise known as the Jackie Chan feat.
So what kind of armor should I grab as a ninja?
Hopefully none.
Well, something light at least. Yeah.
Probably either like robes or padded.
They
Padded
don't
or
really
maybe
have
soft.
like lamellar. I guess closest thing would be scale.
Yeah. Scale or splint.
Yeah, splint is a pain in the ass. I this is coming from my personal experience making armor. I would never wear splint mail.
I know very little about splint.
I
I
actually
understand what
apprenticed
brigandines
with
and scale are,
blacksmith,
but-
it's fun. What?
So I understand scale and brigandine and most of it. I don't remember splint. I don't remember what that is. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up.
Hey, Friar.
Uh-huh.
What's an intrigue?
Does it start with a joke or?
No. So, I'm looking at
Uh-huh.
a social quality that says you automatically go first in an intrigue. And I'm
Yeah,
trying to
so-
figure out why that would be a good thing.
Intrigue is social combat. You basically have a social initiative, you have a social defense, a social attack, you have social techniques you can use on the social battlefield. It is social combat.
God, that katana by itself was more than half of my money. I'll be shopping at the beginning of next month.
Yeah.
How much does that katana cost?
Fucking 800, I think it was. Let me check.
Because I just broke
700.
I just broke my gold dragons down to silver stags.
Yeah, that's what I did. It was 700.
It's nice being the hair since I still have a lot of money even with half gone.
Wait, did I screw up the math then? Because how much is a silver stag?
It's 1 gold is 210 silver stags.
Alright, I need to redo my math then.
I don't
So
mean
you
to
should
be,
have 90.
So I
I
have
don't-
90 silver stacks.
1,890.
Okay, so I did my math right.
I don't
How
mean
did I
to,
get more money than you?
Because I rolled super low.
How did some common ass ninja get more gold cash than you?
Hey, I
They
had
stole
to.
it, obviously.
Give me a break. No, I just rolled really fucking low.
assassinations are expensive. I don't mean to be rude, Troy, but you keep saying hair.
Yeah, I fucked up.
No, it's just hair instead of air. Wasn't sure if you were doing it intentionally or not.
No, I just cannot spell well.
Well, that's fine. I know what you meant, so I'm slightly an asshole when it comes to pronunciations. I've tried. I've gotten much better about it, but sometimes.
God, this character started out as a character that was supposed to be knowledge based, and it's just turned into a character that sees everything all the time.
Tell me what your elven eyes see.
Yeah, it's so on top of having a awareness 4 with a 1 bonus notice, right? I have keen senses, which lets me re-roll a number of 1s equal to my notice rank, and I add my cunning to my passive awareness, which my cunning is a 4, and I have night eyes, which means I can see in the dark.
I mean, think of it like this: you're the spy inside the court.
Yeah.
You see and hear everything going on because no one seems to like notice that you're there. You're
Lord,
just
I'm
another
Varys.
apprentice. Yeah, one of his spiders, little birds or whatever they go.
Yep.
You're the one who's like staying inside. I'm the one who's like fucking hanging upside down in the rain.
Yep.
Let
This
me
has
in,
be-
you guys.
This has become an anime.
I'm
was
proud
bound to
of you
happen.
that none of you had made an rude joke so far.
Well, I was waiting for the combat to bust out the shadow clone jutsu, but you know.
Good God.
So can my method of poisoning people just get them really drunk?
It is treated as a poison. I don't know if it lists toxicity. You know what I mean? If it lists killing level, but good way to get
Toxicity,
information
2
out
for
of people.
ale and ale, beer, 3 for wine, 4 for spirit.
Theoretically,
So
yes.
what do we got after this, Friar?
This would be it for character creation.
Not neat.
Hello, it's me, the beer dispensing ninja.
Does it make you a drunken master?
Please,
Yes.
yes.
Master of drunks. Very different.
I blended so well I also dispense sake. Do we need to worry about getting like tents and water skins and stuff?
Not really.
I bought a pavilion tent anyways.
I guess I can fill the water skin with poison.
Like to a
I
certain
probably-
extent. Go ahead.
I probably want all of these clothing.
Yeah, sure. Giant wardrobe. Blend in at any moment. There will be some traveling. I already know that much. Like, I'll clue you into basically the adventure starting next session is that the Shogun the emperor has called a meeting of basically unaligned lords to find out what in the world, is going on out there after the Onion War. It's like the Onion War is past, but they wanted to find the people who didn't take part, get them all together, have a little feast, have a little tournament, and discuss the future of the shogunate, and hopefully prevent them from joining in any wars. This is the subtext of the thing. I'm not, this is just me telling you about the adventure rather than doing a full introduction in character, in narrative. Basically, you will be traveling to the capital, and hijinks will ensue.
All right, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money. I think I'm going to leave it at that.
Sure, yeah.
Oh my god. It's finally happened, Friar. I've found an RP element that's overpowers my need to Munchkin min-max.
Oh, yes?
I looked at Eunuch, and I can't bring myself to take it.
The description
Perfect
in
for
the
this
table,
character.
The description in the table is great.
It's perfect for this character in terms of like flaws that won't affect the character.
Uh-huh.
But I can't do
You
it.
just can't bring yourself to take it. I looked at it too, and I was like,
Do
no.
it, nerd. Do it. Come on, do it. Do it. I believe in you.
Maybe. I'll revisit after I've looked at the rest of the list.
So are we doing anything else after equipment?
I just want to do like a short little, like, introduce yourselves in character, and like tell me how, like, what you're doing on an average day around the castle, around the island.
So let me ask this: how much of a, I don't know, army or battalion or whatever would I have control over or command over?
So we can go into the details of that. Like, basically, all those statistics you had for the kingdom, you can spin that on stuff. Like, if you want, we can go into this as we approach our last hour here. So all those points can be used to buy things, including castles, armies, farms. Let me find where the page is here. Chapter 6. Starting at holdings. Okay. So starting on page 106, there are a number of holdings. We'll start with defense. And those of you who are still working, feel free.
What page did you say?
106. So we have 24 points in defense. With that, you could buy a hall.
So let me ask you this then. We're all part of the same clan. So
That's
since
right.
we, for the most part, we all have different, what do you call it? We all have different specialties.
Uh-huh.
So do we, and this is kind of a question for everyone, do we want to have it all be kind of a general decision, or do we want to delegate decisions to certain locations? Because it sounds like it's going to be, you said we have how many points in defense to spend?
24.
So it sounds like we have that many points in defense, and then we have such and such points in like influence or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think? Cricket.
Do you mean delegate to individual characters?
Or, yeah, I mean something like that. I don't know. I just don't know how we want to do it.
This one is unfortunately pretty easy.
Unfortunately,
Because it goes 10, 20, 30. You have 24. So you can really only buy the hall. A hall or keep is usually a small fortified building. It may or may not be surrounded by a wall and could have a tower, though it's unlikely. Examples include, and gives you some bullshit. Units defending a hall gain plus 4 bonus to their defense.
Aren't we like crazy wealthy?
Yes. But these are things you start with. And then your wealth goes on to buy stuff.
Ah.
Well, if we can't help it anyway, then just take the hall. There's nothing else we can really do.
Yeah,
And
that makes
I'm just
sense.
saying, for this, you're going to end up with a hall, and then decide as we go. But that's how it works, right? Is that you have a number of points, and that's the maximum you can spend on an improvement. So under influence, let's see here.
So does that tell? Power is the number of people we have, right? I know you're. I know you're just going straight down the line. I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
Do you mean there's a population stat as well?
No, I'm talking about soldiers.
Oh, yeah, I think power. I'll have to double check that. So you can basically you're holding on to influence. Like every 3 months, you have to roll a house fortunes roll, which is how are you doing? How are the crops doing? How are the taxes doing? And like they can go bad, they can get better, and you spend influence to get rid of that, or you can spend for every 2 points of influence you spend. You can get a +1 bonus die on any test related to intrigues. And it's later on, so it's like influence will hold on to it and you'll spend it. Basically.
So we don't. How much land do we have realistically? Because I'm reading this example here, and it says that you could actually split it up. So instead of putting all of our investment in Hall, we could have 2 towers split up over our land.
If you want, I mean, you're fairly small in terms of land, though.
So okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can just keep it a Hall then. I'm just trying to make sure that we get the best benefit out of the money, out of the points we have.
And here's where we start to get into some stuff. Let's see, land holdings 13. Yeah, the amount of land you have is your maximum status. So, like, unfortunately, your status 3 were pretty low, and you get to buy like the type of terrain. Like instead of going with a real thing, you're making up your own little like section, you know. So, terrain, hills, mountains, plains, and wetlands. And like get feature costs. Like these things go on and on here.
I'm a little confused what we're doing here with the influence. Are we like buying land for each individual character?
No. Right now we're going to like determining the lands that the clan controls. Influence you hold on to and you can spend to get bonuses.
Okay, so do we like all stack up our statuses and see what that gets us, kind of thing?
No, this was what we rolled at the very beginning, like defense, influence, lands. Remember that big thing at the That's where this comes into play. That's where these numbers actually come into play.
So how much do we have in influence again?
In influence 23.
So we have a maximum status of 4.
Yes.
Do we need to worry about carry weight?
No, maximum status is determined by land. Excuse me. Not necessarily. You might want to simply because, like, if you're traveling, these are the things you'll have on you.
Just because I'm trying to figure out how many poisons I can carry in my backpack.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It's a fine question.
And do they come with their own flask, or do I have to buy my own flask for them?
No, they come in a package.
A little doggy bag of poison.
Yeah. Well. Huh. Okay. Yeah, power holdings is where we get into units. So it looks like there's not much we can do in terms of land. We only have 13 points, and we're an island, so that takes up 10, and then spend the rest on like wetlands. So we're a wetland island.
And that's not something we can change later.
Hashtag rice patties.
Sure, yeah. No, that's not something we can change later. You can like increase the number of cities. That's also the land power. So if you invest in like, you wouldn't actually be adding land. You would be like clearing out land and creating new areas for settlement. You know,
Okay.
cutting down forests, getting rid of bandits, ghosts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, power holdings is where you can actually start to go in and buy armies. The most, yeah, like on page 111, and I think this is more for what Dylan is looking into than anything else. We have 23 power, and with that you can buy things off of this list.
Well, if you also look at page 110, you've got the training capabilities of them and the power cost for it. So, like if they're green, if they're trained, they're veteran or elite.
Yep. But these are, as you can see, pluses. So like you take the base and then you add these numbers onto it. Like if archers are +3. So yeah.
So we start by default with peasant levies, effectively, because it's a +0 power cost.
Yeah.
And then we can upgrade it from there.
Mhm.
Okay. Do any of you guys have any preferences on that?
Not really.
And we have how many
Like,
points?
are we asking preferences on what type of soldiers?
Yeah, what type of soldiers we have?
I think we'd really need to heavily invest into archers.
Yeah,
There's nothing directly on their warships about anything about to do with water.
Yeah, there
so
is. There is literally a warships option.
I said besides that.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So
Gotcha.
like the best thing, like if we're being like realistic about it, would be archers that are like good at shooting people coming off the fucking shore. So
Sure.
the only thing I really think that we should put something into is archers.
And how many points do we have?
23.
23. So if we start with, just as a rough number, trained, we have 20 points to spend. And then if we did warships and archers, that'd be 10 points left, which means we could either upgrade them to
I think,
go ahead.
correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think how this works is you take trained 3, and then like if you want archers, then it's 6 total, and then you take
Yes.
trained 3 and +5 for cavalry as a separate thing, right?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
So it's like, yeah, like trained 3
I
would
thought
apply to each entry. Is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. And we have 23 points?
Mm-hmm.
We could have, if you guys are okay with this, we could have trained archers, trained warships, and trained infantry all for 23 points. If I'm doing my math right on that.
That sounds the best to me. I was thinking about that too.
Or, alternatively, we could have our infantry be green and have either our archers or our warships be veteran, and we would still have a point for like for an extra unit of green like levy soldiers to support our green infantry.
I vote for option 2.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Do
Yeah,
either one of you other ones have anything to say?
Doesn't look like it. What I really enjoy about this is it's the heir to the clan and the general discussing troops.
That's pretty perfect, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't
so
even think about that. That's amazing.
Run me through the players again. I know that we've got me and I can't tell whose voice that is that's there.
Fangus or Troy.
Fangus.
Either one works.
Okay. So we got me and Fangus, and then Aso. Are you the one that's playing the intellect?
Yes.
So that's you'd be comparable to an advisor, right?
Yeah. I'm an apprentice to like an advisor or like a medicine man kind of thing.
And we have subterfuge. Wow, we are very well rounded.
Hey nerds, you want some poison? I got some nightshade. I got some stuff that puts to sleep.
And my
I got
cohorts.
some- I got some weird abortion herbs,
Alright,
maybe.
Friar, Troy, if you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna take some time, write down a couple of options for soldiers, and then throw it in chat and see what
Go ahead.
works best. All right. And we have 23 points. Double checking one more time.
Mm-hmm. 20.
Guys, want to see some weird shit? Because I got some mushrooms in here.
I can only imagine you like open your like the inside of like your ninja outfit, and there's just poison, just bottles on bottles on bottles.
It's poison and clothing. There's also flint and steel in there too, so just in case all else fails.
And then comes wealth holdings. We got a lot of wealth, and there's a shit ton of wealth holdings. Just a ton of things you can buy. Like everything from temples and mines and ports to herb fields and secret police.
Where the fuck is the wealth holdings?
Where are these at?
There are some on page 113. Actually, it starts at bottom of page 112. And then there is an entire other book put out by Green Ronin that is
Good Lord.
nothing but wealth holdings. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, 4-page long table of wealth holdings. Not to make your decisions for you, but I would recommend a port.
Yeah, of course we need a port.
I feel like we have to
island,
have a port.
or we just be fucked.
Just run her aground. We'll make it. We'll repair it later.
Look, they're wetlands. I mean, where does the ground end and the ocean start?
Just ignore my chats for the moment in Discord.
We're just like
That's
walking,
one thing we have to have is a fucking port.
We're just
Alright.
walking across broken ships to get to mainland.
So a port costs you 10.
We're
See,
we're so rich, we just build new boats every time we need one. Wreck the old ones and buy new ones.
so you get a +5 bonus on house fortune rolls. Also, if you have a marketplace, house fortune indicates you should increase your wealth at +1d6 and +1. Nice. So if
Yeah,
you
if we're
pair
already
this with a,
doubling down on wealth, we should go ahead and get a market too, shouldn't we?
Okay.
Well, we're already rich. Why not make it more so later on if we want to like build a garrison or something, we have the money to do it.
Mhm.
Well, do we have to actually pay like from our wealth or what do you call it for building a garrison?
Oh my god, dude. The requirement influence 20 plus for a maester? Good lord.
Influence is 23 though, so could afford.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
We're gonna get more money later on in the game, right?
Yeah, so every month or every 3 months you make a roll to determine whether you're getting more money or losing money based on
Okay.
taxes and crops and things like that.
Okay, I'm just
So-
figuring out like what poisons I should just buy initially.
So marketplace and port. Anything else everyone thinks we need?
I
I'm
think
sorry,
a
all
maester.
Let me look at this. What are we talking about? What page is it?
114, and we're talking about things we can buy with our wealth. We need a port because we're an island. And
How many points do we have?
43?
You now have 22
Jeez.
remaining.
22 remaining. If we get the
All right,
marketplace
so-
and the port.
Also on page 112, there's the artisan, which for some reason is just cut off because it,
Yeah.
the way it's structured. And in addition,
think,
I have another book that is entirely.
I think a +3 to house fortune rolls could go a long way as we escalate into the game.
What was it? A +3 to what?
House fortune rolls.
Yeah,
And what is it that gives us that?
The maester.
Okay.
Also get 5+ from the port.
Well, there's also the mine, which is a +5 on house fortune rolls.
I feel like we're just like gonna double down as hard as we can to get as much money as possible.
do you want the secret police or maybe a master of the hunt, criminal syndicate?
Where are you seeing that?
I have a whole other book of these.
Oh,
It's published by Green Ronin. It's official for the system, but it's a separate book. Dog kennels, apiary, fishery, fur trader, all kinds of shit.
all right. So we have port and we have marketplace, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that leaves us
So-
with 22, you said, Friar?
Uh-huh.
So if we look at mine and Meister, what's the benefits between these?
Just
Mine
5+
gives
on
us
the mine.
+5 to fortune, and Meister gives us +3 to fortune.
So a maester gives you someone who you can consult.
Yeah, but aren't you already playing a Meister? Do we really need to buy that?
So for me to become a maester, so this is an interesting question, Friar.
Mhm.
If I were to go hardcore in the paint, right, and become a maester like day one for this character, would we also have to take the wealth investment or whatever these are called?
No, you'd get that automatically.
Okay, so if I become a maester later,
Mhm.
okay, so maybe that's the way to go because that's right now my character is an apprentice or a learner for a maester, right? But he's not one yet, so maybe we set that aside for now, and then my player character becomes one later. Because the mine's a flatter bonus up front. The benefit of the maester is that it gives you, especially if it's played by the GM, is that it gives you a character you can consult with regards to how similar events have played out in history and how likely they are to go well for you. Right?
Yeah,
it's kind of a
basically,
soft bonus, but
It's basically a scholar.
yeah.
Guys, why don't you look at artisan? Oh, it says choose one of the following. Okay, never mind. I thought it was all of them. Never mind.
I say mine and Magister. Mage, whatever.
So you're saying get both of them and just finish out there?
Yeah.
And what were the options that we had from that other book?
There's
Friar?
actually on here more options for the mine. There's a basic mine, a valuable mine, and a rich mine. And they
Where do you see
cost
that?
respectively, second book, respectively 10, 15, and 20.
What are the bonuses?
No, that's how much the cost is. The
What's the bonuses?
Yeah. Valuable mine, fortune roll +2, wealth +2, resource gain bonus, wealth +2. On rich mine, house fortune rolls +3, resource gain bonus +2.
So is that on top of the +5 house fortune that you get from the mine?
No, that
It replaces it with a lower bonus?
it replaces it with a split bonus, basically.
But it costs so much more. And what was the rich one again? Because the rich one was double, but it was +3 fortune, +2 wealth.
Yeah, basically when you do gain resources, you get +2 wealth.
I don't think it's worth it.
Let me see here.
What about you guys?
It's not worth it in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think we'd get more benefit from a Meister and a Mine. We would get if we got both of them, that's 20 points, but we get a +8 on House Fortune, and we get the service of a Meister.
We've also got the 5+ from the port too, so
we're at +13.
that sounds like our best bet right now.
Yeah. Well, we also have the marketplace, right?
Oh yes, and that's what?
Each month, whenever your House Fortune would increase your wealth resource, the marketplace increases by a +1. So we get a +1 bonus to our wealth when our House Fortune roll succeeds.
Alright, sounds good.
Something that might be interesting in place of maybe the Meister or possibly in place of the Mine is guilds, just because of the 10% discount. But I don't think it would be worth it over... I personally don't think it would be worth it considering it's a 15-point investment. We'd have to lose
Yeah.
all of them. So
I was gonna say if guilds was cheaper, I would be for it, but
So
Can
you
we
guys
come
are
back
going with-
later and buy one of these for our...
Yes, actually, you'll be able to invest. It does take time, as you see, for it to be built or for it to be finished. But yeah,
Alright,
you can
I
come back
vote
later.
Port, Mine, Marketplace, Meister.
me too.
works for me.
All right.
And maybe one day we can come back and build the guild, so... So that's wealth, prior.
So let me, and that is the last of those. Let me add these up real quick so we know what your total bonus on House Fortune rolls would be. Plus 13. Plus 13 on House Fortune rolls, and you get the Marketplace and Port combined means that you don't just get a +1 wealth, you get a +1d6 wealth.
Damn.
What's the actual roll for the House Fortunes?
So it's a special roll. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Ah, there it is. Go back. Page 122. So it's rolling on a table that is... What the hell? How many dice do you roll for this?
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, is a +18 good?
Is there a place we can write down inventory, or do we have to put it on a separate sheet?
You can put it in just in one of those fields, like the mannerisms field, but there's no special place for it, unfortunately. There is a place for your weapons and armor, though, on the combat page. But everything else, yeah, you just kind of have to write down in one of those boxes. So it's a status roll. The steward or acting steward must roll a status test. Bonus dice from stewardship apply. And so probably someone rolling like a 2d6 plus 18 on a
I was
scale.
gonna say, who's the highest? The status. There are players in our group that have status higher than 2, right?
Aren't they?
Yeah, the heir would probably roll.
Surely they have a status higher than.
Yeah, 4d6. I
4.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
So 46 plus 18 on a table that goes from 2 to 42.
Okay, so 2d6 average is 7. 7 and 18 is 25.
18.
Okay, so there's only 2 curses, or no,
Right.
it's 46. So you can't roll less than a 22.
Wait a minute. Why 18?
What? That's what you said, right? Plus 18.
13.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I'm living in my own world over here.
Yeah. So what?
But that
what's
means that the
medium?
lowest number we can roll is a 17.
Which is decline, unfortunately.
And north of decline, there's 1, 2, 3 curses. So there's like a 3 and it's a pretty low chance. I think the 23 curse is the one we got to worry about, I guess.
So what's the median on that? On 46 plus 18?
So it's 13 and 7 is 20 is your average roll.
That's a
So
blessing.
the 19 is, sorry, go ahead.
That's a blessing. 20.
Yeah. But the 19 curse is kind of dangerous. We may end up on that one more often than we'd like. Just means we got to buy more stuff to get our bonus even higher. Right?
So a curse is described as
Just
An
become
unfortunate-
mega rich.
an unfortunate downturn in events that could weaken the house in some way. Significant setbacks that can include brigands, bad weather, blights, desertion, lawlessness, and other effects. Reduces one resource by 1 to 3 points, or 2 resources by 1 point.
And we can waive the house fortunes to get a flat +1 to some resource, right?
Yeah.
But I presume that
Well,
that's bad, given that the likelihood that we'll roll a
Like
blessing, boon, or
a
growth.
blessing is improve one resource by 1 to 3 points, or 2 resources by 1 point. So it's a gamble.
Yeah. So
I think you have to make house fortune rolls once every 3 months.
okay.
That's the thing. Is that you can opt not to, but once every 3 months it has to happen.
From a pure statistical standpoint, though, it's in our favor never to just take the +1, right? We should always roll, statistically speaking.
So those are the best 3 options I can really come up with for soldiers. And I did look at it, and you can take it multiple times, and each time you do, it's 100 soldiers, a certain number of horse and men. I don't remember where that was. Let me look. 20 men and horses, or 5 warships is each unit. I'd say one of the second 2 would be our best bet, but I'm kind of leaning towards the third one.
The third one's our best bet.
Although the idea of veteran warships is phenomenal, I think we can upgrade them later or add more warships later because of our wealth. All in favor of third option? It's in Discord if you want to see it.
Friar?
Mhm.
Were we planning on actually doing any, like, the part of the game tonight?
Unfortunately, no. We're just going to, like, if you guys want to exit out on just kind of introducing your character to everybody and saying what they do on an average day in the castle.
All right, can I go first? Because I kind of need to, like, ditch out because I'm really starting to feel ill.
Oh, I mean, if you need to leave, go ahead. I mean,
All right, thank you. Well,
Yeah, take
I'm
care of yourself.
Harris, and you could just look at my profile, I guess. Sorry.
take care of yourself.
Good job, Troy. Nope. Too late.
Probably had to outrun a vomit there.
Yeah.
So do you need to copy that one down, Friar, or do we need to put it on our character sheet somewhere?
I will put it under the house
Okay.
stuff. So copy and edit. I love that you now have the Mon up there in the character section. That's delightful.
We have what?
The Mon, the symbol, Mon, or however.
Oh,
it's
that's
said.
cool.
That's funny. It copied the color of the text. Yep. Okay. All right. So, I mean, we're pretty much done. Like I said, if you want to introduce your character to everybody, tell me what they do on an average day.
I would probably spend most of my time around the. What did we end up with? A hall.
Uh-huh.
I'd probably spend
is-
most of my time around the hall with my guard.
Yeah, it's just another word for fortress, basically. It's just a fort.
Rich people living modestly. That's the key to success, boys.
Their defenses are modest. They're
We have a decent number of people, though.
I imagine in their off time, most of the peasant levies are at home, tending their crops.
Yeah, they're sort of drafted non-military men.
Yeah. It's what most peasant levies are.
Here you go. Here's a sword. Good luck.
Don't die, nerd.
Actually, if I remember correctly, most of them had like pikes
Spears.
because swords required training, whereas those just required poking.
Swords are also more expensive.
That's
I'm not
true.
going to trust you with a sword.
Here you go, guy. Here's a stick with a blade on the end.
Pretty much.
Try not to poke the guy in front of
Put down the hoe, pick up the spear, go to battle.
Yeah.
you. Let me see.
So,
Or be a badass and bring your scythe.
yeah, that'd be
But,
cool.
but you know, this is going to be kind of RP heavy compared to like a D&D or something. You know, dealing with these situations as they come up. We're going to start kind of narrow focused because you're going to be traveling, so you're in a party, you're all together, and then sort of branch out into role playing this house doing its things, and the business of government.
All right. Well, as it seems like we're pretty much at an end, I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off.
Alrighty,
Likewise.
see you.
Look forward to it, guys.
Have fun with ninjas.
Bye.